I just say that he looks very camp when he comes in. He like struts in with his
No,
cardigan.
it's because he's a pretty boy as well.
Yeah.
We're getting distracted. Let's move back onto dreams. Sarah, do you want to share a dream that you've had recently with us?
A dream.
Literally, figuratively, metaphorically.
But preferably a sleeping dream.
Yeah, okay. Sleeping dream. I don't know. I feel like I used to have night terrors growing up. So, like, you would wake up it was kind of like sleep paralysis, but except more, I don't know the word for it, more violent, I don't know. But it started from when I was really little for the most dumbest kind of things. Like, it was like, I was thinking, I used to live in a big house in Summerhill with my grandparents, my mum, my dad, my uncle, and some family members at the back. So we all had this really big house and we'd all live there. And I remember I would get so scared that someone was going to eat my cheese in the fridge that
I understand that completely.
It was like that terrified me. And like I'm lactose intolerant and I had to go to hospital.
Are you
for
really?
it.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. When I was little. I get pills
Food
up my bum.
possession is a real problem.
Yeah.
Possession.
Yeah.
Being possessive over food is a real thing. I used to hide my food and also would
That
have
sounds
dreams
like
about
something
people
more deep-sea.
ransacking my room
Yeah.
and taking my food.
Like I would have the dream. There was this one dream that always came back to me where I was stuck. Like I wasn't even in the house. I was stuck on an escalator, and I could see my dad like all the way at the top holding this like block of cheese, which it was just so important to me. But I kept on dreaming about it, and I would try running up the escalator, and I fell back. And then I would wake up just as I've like hit the ground. And I was like 4 dreaming about this cheese. Like it was so important. I don't know.
Let's talk about the impact of dreams on our personal lives.
Good segue.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
life
Real life
consequences of the subconscious.
Now, I know I'm not the only girl who's dreamt this, but waking up having a dream about your partner cheating on you or
Yes.
doing something, I have been physically angry when I wake up from those dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is a boundary for me or something that really like is like my biggest fucking nightmare. But I wake up and I'm like, not talking for like 2 hours. We're good. I'm not.
No, yeah, I completely understand that. It was very much a subconscious thing for me. There was this, he had told me he had a dream about him having sex with someone else.
Ew.
And
Why?
he wouldn't tell me who that person was because he knew it would bother me. But I was saying to him, like, you not telling me who it is and just telling me that you've had a dream, literally with me sleeping next to you, a sex dream about someone else, it's going to piss me off. And that started to like bleed subconsciously into my dreams of like who this possibly could be. And then it turned out he had actually cheated on me. So it was it was very much
Manifestation, people.
because of dreams tie into what happens in your everyday life. And I'm a big believer that the things that you don't really pay attention to that are important come out in your dreams pretty much. And you know, depends on whether or not you remember them.
Do you believe in prophetic dreams?
What's that?
That's a big word.
A prophecy in the form of a dream.
I think so. I think I'm very much open-minded to the idea of, prophecies and morality, definitely. Just everything tying into what we don't know, really.
Or not even a prophecy if that's too intense of a word. Like warnings.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of old and prophecies, go way, way back to the old ages where people used dreams and storytelling as a way to, you know, explain the ways of Earth. I think about seeing how dreams have impacted so many different people throughout time, like a heat ton, you know?
Yeah.
And that's probably an understatement, but you know what I mean? Like,
They've served as the inspiration for like billions of pieces of art.
Yeah, not even just in cultural art, but in art around the world. I think dreams are a really important, you know, place for them to art to originate, you know?
But everyone experiences dreams so differently, which is why all the art that gets produced
Is
is
incredibly
so
different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know there is a generation of people who grew up watching black and white TVs who say they experience their dreams in black and white.
Really?
Really?
Because that's what their eyes are seeing, what they're seeing. Yeah.
And stories.
Yeah.
Movies. It's like when people say who are multilingual dream in different languages. Like my mum knows German, and she often dreams in German when she's been speaking it day to day, which I think is incredibly weird how your brain can swap back and forth from.
I can relate to that. Because when I was younger,
I
I could speak Spanish, and occasionally I'll have dreams in Spanish, and I'll tell my partner Tom about the dreams the next day, and he's like, that is completely legible. Like, that is...
Because he can
That
speak
is correct.
Spanish, right?
He can speak Spanish. And I was like, I don't understand anything that happened in that dream. Like, I was
Wow.
experiencing it, and it was working fine, but upon reflection, I was like, I have no idea what I was saying to these people in my dream.
No, I don't. I used to when I was younger because I was around a lot more with those family members. And my aunties run a Tongan language school out west at one of the high schools. And I remember sometimes my dreams, because they go between English and Tongan in their sentences, but I'll understand it still now, but I've lost the language in being able to talk and respond in Tongan now. But it's really interesting because I feel like there's the younger brain still connected to that. That's like how you were saying with the
Absolutely.
Spanish. Like, it's still there. Even if you're
memory
not.
recall is like the craziest thing, because there's stuff that I have not thought about, because I learnt Spanish when I was 8. I'm 22 years old now. I should not have any of those memories still. But like what you're saying, it just comes back into your dreams in this really fluid way, and suddenly you feel the same emotions that you did when you were a kid, and you feel as if it's completely natural to be speaking this other language.
Yeah.
And you wake up and you're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. No clue. Like, I definitely wouldn't understand the phrases if I hadn't been around it at least every now and then a year. I just wouldn't have a clue what they're saying. I'm lucky that I still have my aunties who live here who still talk it, but speak the language. But in Polynesian culture, it's always been a big thing before religion came into play to listen to your dreams, because it's part of your body is part of the land and the sea, and it's very connected with similar to Indigenous culture here in Australia. In the Polynesian islands, it's very much the stories. It's not written down. It's from your dreams.
Yeah.
It's
Dream
spoken
time.
orally.
Yeah. That's
and
what I was trying to think of before, by the way.
But it's very much deeply embedded in, I feel like, a lot of rural, just kind of like island countries. It's very much a fluid thing of being more spiritual and less religious. Like before the British kind of took over a lot of those countries, it was very much impacted by just the way of life and the way that the land worked, and without humans touching things. I don't know, it's very interesting. I think it's still there in Polynesian communities of listening to what your mind's telling you. And I think that is why there's such a big thing about family in Polynesian communities, because they're telling you, it's like your dream's telling you, it's just embedded in you to be more interconnected with family and people alike within those Polynesian communities. I don't know. It's very
No, that
interesting.
makes sense.
Yeah.
In order to build those communities, you need to have a network of storytelling. And the easiest thing to do is tell someone what you dreamed about last night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
But sometimes I dream in Tongan.
Do you speak it in your daily life?
It's really weird because I don't often if I begin having a dream, I know I've had that dream before and I remember it, but I literally don't remember many dreams, and I wish I could write it down. I wish waking up, I know it and I know I've just had a dream, but I wish I write them down, because otherwise, like if you said, tell me the dream you had last night, I really would not be able to tell you.
Well, often it's what you do before bed.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's exactly
right. Are you on your phone before you go to sleep?
No, I read. I have to read because I have periods of insomnia.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I get, like, we won't go quite into it, but I have OCD, and a lot of it is around sleep and around getting to sleep.
The routine.
And so I have all this stuff that I have to do in order to be able to, like, calm my brain in order to get into sleep, which is why I'm kind of grateful that I don't have quite vivid dreams, because then, you know, when I wake up, I feel like I've had a bit of a brain break. You know, I haven't had to think during my dream about, you know, day-to-day things. I can leave that for when I am awake. But yeah, like there was a period of time in year 9 and 10 where I would have weeks on end where I'd get like 4 hours sleep every night.
Wow.
Which was just horrible, because then when I did get to sleep, I was so exhausted that I didn't dream. So I don't know if that's impacted how I see dreams today. I do see an importance within them, because I think they can be fun and they can be cool to be like flying or swimming and being able to breathe underwater, which I don't realize while I am in the dream that it's because I'm not actually underwater. But like, you know what I mean? Like I do see the fun in it, but I don't do it often enough for me to be like, dreams.
That is so interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's how I see my personal views on daydreams and night dreams.
Yeah.
Basically.
No, I can understand and appreciate that more now, because when you told me that you don't dream, I was like, as someone who dreams every single night and lucid dreams almost every night, I was like, that sucks. Like, that blows. But if you have like a tenuous relationship with sleep as a whole, like, I would imagine the idea of dreaming would just seem so draining.
It is. Yeah. No, when people say it, like, oh my God, I went to Hogwarts last night and I just like hung out with Ron and Hermione and Harry, I was like, cool, but the entire time I'd be thinking about like what I have to do the next day and this and that. Like, I get so anxious and worked up that I'd just be like, that's why I really value when I do sleep, and when I do sleep for long periods of time without waking up, which is very rare because I have really bad bladder problems and have to pee like once a night. But like,
I can
getting
imagine
to sleep.
the dreams would also interrupt your sleep as well, especially if you have a nightmare or something.
Exactly. Then you wake up and then you're so terrified.
And you have to start your whole routine all over again.
Exactly. And yeah, for me, it's like preserving the little sleep that I do eventually get. But yeah, like I remember when I was a kid, loving dreams before any of the other stuff started, loving dreams, and, you know, waking up and telling my mum, oh, did you know that in my dream I was able to like be a fish? And I have the reoccurring dream, if I was gonna say, is being able to like breathe underwater.
Oh, the best dreams.
Which is the best dream, because you feel
underwater.
like a superhero because you can breathe underwater.
No.
They're like common for me.
No, mine are always like, it's like an action adventure thing with friends.
Shit.
And like the last one I had was, we were having to like swing above this like crocodile den thingamajig over this like swamp in like America. And one of my friends fell and her leg got chopped off by one of the crocodiles. It's just like there's no like reason for it sometimes. It's just swinging over some alligators in America. I think because my grandfather went to an alligator swamp in America not long ago, and he was telling me about seeing them.
And it translated into dream.
My dream that I was there having to like escape from this like
Did you
weird
just say
thing.
escape? Escape?
Yes.
Let's not bully the other people
okay,
on this podcast on the way they pronounce words.
Do you say
You know I have
Pico?
the speech impediment. You're being ableist.
Let's return to alligators and crocodiles.
Let's escape from this conversation.
Oh. That's the beginning of a true. It's gonna turn to a crime scene.
True crime is
last time
you never leave this
Stella was
room.
singing.
Sorry.
It turns into one of those movies. What's that movie where they're like, Saw? Sarah.
I watched all of them the other
I've
day.
not watched it.
Remove this key from your eye.
Oh.
Saw. Have you not seen the movie?
I've
if you're
not
going
seen
to
many
reference the movie, know the movie.
Yeah. Reference it. Yeah, okay. I give that to you. I give that to you as well. I'm not
Thank you for being so kind.
Saw translated into my into one of my dreams recently as well. I did a
Terrifying.
movie marathon with Clover.
Were you Saw?
No, I was one of the people in the game.
Who else was in the room?
Clover.
So there was Clover, obviously.
I?
It was me, Clover, my friend Tom.
Ooh.
You made an appearance, but
Oh,
you
really?
you were like Saw's accomplice.
Makes sense.
Was she
And I
wearing
feel like-
the makeup?
Yeah, yeah.
Hot.
She was with the
Sexy.
the swells.
Uh-huh.
And who else was in it?
She was
It's
playing
huge.
mind games with
It's
you.
an honor.
She was.
Puppeteering.
Yeah, I was going to say, playing you like a puppet.
Do you mean playing with you like a puppet or playing you like a fiddle?
One of them.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm just going to say yes.
You
My
want to play
statement.
with me, darling?
Ooh, it's not the first time.
Oh my goodness.
I'm kidding.
How did you escape from Saw? Did you escape, actually, I should ask?
No, I think I just like gave up. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna accept it. And I think I ended up just like ending myself.
Oh.
Dying in dreams?
Yeah.
I've read some conflicting information on the web that some people say you can't die in dreams because you'll die in real life, and some people say you can die in dreams, but it's not dying, it's just moving from one dream to the next.
Right. Well, I feel like I've definitely had a dream where I've seen myself dying. But
Like
I
third
couldn't
person?
see my face, but I
Ooh.
could see, I knew it was me, but I was standing from afar watching, and I was just dying in like
Third
this like bed in this house, my
Mm.
like grandparents' old house in New Zealand. I was there by myself, and I could see myself from the corridor in the bed, like literally just dying. I remember that was a really scary dream, but I don't know.
Well, most of my dreams, it's third person. I'm watching myself make my way through a place. It's never
Yeah.
POV. I'm looking through my own eyes.
No.
It's I'm watching myself
Go
make
through.
friends,
Yeah.
do whatever little activities I'm doing in the dream.
Yeah.
So I've attended my own funeral in a dream.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can we go into that?
It was a weird funeral, guys.
Mm.
My grandma was giving like the sermon, and she was just talking about herself the entire time.
Oh.
Not many people know this, but my grandma loves herself. Preach. Love that. But it
So
translated into the dream where she was just going on for so long. Like, I was dead in the dream, but I wanted to be more dead. I didn't want to be there
I
anymore.
wanted to be 12 feet
I-
under.
Exactly. I didn't want to be able to hear it anymore. And I looked over at everyone. I felt like a spirit. Like I was just hanging around.
Yeah.
Saw my parents,
Like a
and they were
puppet.
weeping, and my brother was playing on a Nintendo. And in this dream,
Oh.
he was like 4 years old, even though he's only a year younger than me.
Oh.
All of the ages had been kind of changed. My grandma was a lot older. My parents were the same age as they were when we were like in Argentina, like in their 40s.
Can I just quickly like go on a quick thing? Actually, no, I
Please
shouldn't.
go on a tangent right now.
Well, so my dad like went on a little trip for work to India. He left on Monday morning at 4:30 in the morning. He's currently landing back in Sydney at 1:30 because he got scammed while applying for his visa to enter India. And so when he got into India onto the border, they were like, nah, that's a scam. You have to go back to Australia.
Oh.
And I'm like, seriously? I mean, the company he works for, generally a good, like big company should be like
Should be able to tell what is
able
a
to
scam.
tell what is a scam and what is not a scam.
Mm.
And it has meant that like there's been a loss of $20,000
Oof.
just for him to get there and back
Mm.
because the flights are so
Goodness.
expensive. Relate.
Speaking of scary experiences, can we talk about we touched on it lightly before, but can we talk about sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
Can't relate.
I get it.
Even in your youth?
Even in my youth. I mean, maybe the sitting up screaming could have been it, but I don't remember that.
Would you say that's you being like stuck subconsciously in your dream? Like you're not awake and can't move, but you're stuck. And that's why you.
Screaming?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really had no idea I did it until literally like 2 years ago when my parents
Your
were like, how
parents.
funny is that you would sit up in your sleep screaming bloody murder? And I was like, I don't.
Your parents have a very interesting idea of what's funny.
They, yeah. Look,
I have a segment that I'm going to start
play
right
segment.
now.
Oh, is this sponsored? This is sponsored by
Eve's dream journal. It's a cheating dream.
Booty.
I think it would be fun
A
if I
cheating
read this
dream.
out, and how would you respond?
Okay.
I titled this dream, Worst Fucking Dream of My Life. Holy shit, this dream was so traumatic. I'm not even shitting.
Can we shorten that? Can we give that an acronym?
No, I like that. I like that.
We'll shorten it to holy shit, this dream was traumatic. People who star in this dream. That's right. I have a cast list for this dream.
Can we make up people who will play them in the movie?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Also, I want to preface this by saying when I wake up, the first thing I do is
When I
immediately pull
wake
out my phone and just start like writing everything that my brain can think of. So this will be all over the place.
All right.
Oh, this is cool.
People who star in this dream: G, J, and L, and Tom.
J, L, and
Tom
Tom.
does not get anonymity
G,
because
J, L, and
Oh,
Tom.
can I see who's in this? Do I know them? Oh, okay.
these are old individuals.
Okay.
I had a dream that there was a school dance coming up, and I asked Tom to the dance. He said yes, obviously. I was so excited to go to the dance with him and spend time with him. Love it. Dad drops me off at the dance. I walk in, and Tom was holding Elle's hand.
Oh.
Betrayal. I came up to her and asked why he was holding her hand, and Elle said, he's my date for the dance. I looked at him, and he was completely blank, like it was nothing. I said, I thought you were my date. He said, well, I kind of wanted to go with other girls too. He patted my shoulder like I was one of
No.
his
What are the bros?
pals
What are the bros?
and said, you know you're not enough for me, right?
Oh.
Fuck.
Deadly. I walked away from Tom and sat down at my table and started texting Dad to come pick me up so I could leave. Dad said he'd be a while, so I'd have to wait. Dad, pull through, please. So I sat at my table while Tom started dancing, kissing, and groping Elle on the dance floor.
No.
Oh,
Does Tom know about this dream?
yes, he does. What does it say?
Intermission briefly.
Oh, yes. There we go. Once Tom was done with
Name drop. Name drop.
With
that will be bleeped out.
lychee.
With L.
L.
With Elle, he came over and tried to kiss me.
Oh.
I pushed him away.
Sharing germs. No way.
Yeah.
When I did that, Tom said fine and walked over to one of his other dates. He had several dates
Player.
He's such
and
a
started
player.
doing the same thing all over again. I started to feel sick from watching him get with other girls, and I ran out of the building crying.
As you should.
By the way, when I woke up from this dream, tears
Really?
all down my face. It turns out I'm quite the active sleeper, and what I do in my dream, I usually do in real life as well.
No way.
I'll tell you more about that afterwards.
Oh.
I
Alright.
started to feel sick, and I ran away from him, out of the building crying. G and L ran after me and stayed with me on the grass while I cried my eyes out. Tom came outside holding J's waist while she was all over him. And he asked me why I was upset. I said, how would you feel if I not only asked other guys to the dance guys, by the way, this was a big one, but also started making out with them right in front of you? He looked at me and said, I'm allowed to do it because you're so obsessed with me that you'll never leave me. So I'm going to keep on fucking the hot girls and come to you when I want to settle.
Oh
Guys, can
I'm
you
mad at
believe
Tom.
my
be
brain
so mad at
constructed this evil shit?
It sounds bad, but I'd still be mad if that was me, if I had a partner.
There's more. I said, I'm breaking up with you, Tom. He let go of Jay's hand and said, no, you're not. He slapped me across the face.
What?
Grabbed me by my hair and threw me to the ground.
What?
G and L were witnessing everything and started bawling their eyes out. All the girls who Tom was dating came out of the hall and started brutally attacking me and calling me all sorts of names. I screamed out for my dad. I could hear his voice from the bottom of the school. I got out of their grips and started running for my life towards Dad's car. The parking lot was chaotic as fuck. All these different cars were trying to run me over and stop me from leaving Tom.
Can I just say, this is like the least Tom I've ever heard.
Yeah, if you knew Tom, this man is obsessed with me. I'm
literally,
obsessed with him equally, as you can tell from this dream, but
yeah.
like,
You and I
insane.
were talking the other day, and it's like when Eve and Tom are together, there's not one bit of Tom that's not touching Eve.
Oh, really?
Like-
That's very sweet.
He is very sweet, and that's why I was horrified by this dream. I finally found Dad's car and tried to get in, but he wouldn't unlock the car. He just sat there and looked at me.
Oh.
Tom came up behind me, and I tried to fight him, but he just grabbed my hands and put me in a lock position. I said, I'm never going to look at you again. Oh my God. He said that he already got me pregnant. So I would be tied to him forever through blood.
Oh.
Sickening. Oh my God. So the rest of the dream consisted of me being locked in a glass room in a house with only a bed where I was tied to. Oh my God. Tom made the room glass so I could see every
Girl that came in?
Yeah.
No.
Dad was secretly a part of this whole scheme from the start.
Oh my God.
That's a seriously fucked up dream. Like,
Yeah. And yet I still speak so highly of dreams.
That is why I don't dream.
Clearly there's
that's
something
a lot
wrong
to
with me.
unpack as well.
Mine
Like,
are
I
a
thought
bit
it
more
was-
simple. Call me simple.
Yeah. Call me vanilla.
Yeah, literally, call me vanilla.
Okay.
That
Scale
is
of 1
intense.
to 10. How scary?
Like
That's like a 10 for me.
10.5.
Yeah. Because it wasn't just like
the cheating thing.
it was also like the fact, the physical thing, and then the things being said, and then it ending in you being chained to a bed while pregnant.
Yeah.
and then also your dad being like in it
Involved.
as well.
That's just all different levels of, yeah, I'd be sobbing.
So when I woke up from the dream and after I had written this all down, by the way, Tom was sleeping right next to me.
Did he wake up?
I
when
waited.
You were crying? Yeah.
Until he woke up.
Until he woke up, I was fuming. I was like, I can't believe this man did this to me
As you should.
in my dream, where he actually had no control over what was happening. And when he woke up, I told him the whole dream, and he was like, oh my God, that's so fucked up. I can't believe that happened in your dream. And I was like,
yeah.
apologize.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Here's
Buy
the
me
thing.
lunch. Reparations.
Yeah.
He did buy me lunch, so I was
Oh,
happy
did.
about
That's
that.
good. That's good.
I think that's worth a forgiven.
But in a way, by him buying me lunch, he was taking
Admitting that he had
ownership
done something wrong.
in the dream anyway.
I'm like horrified by that.
Mm.
Although I do have to say I'm extremely impressed. You said this is gonna be all over the shop, and then just like perfectly gave
Very
us a
eloquent.
story.
Well, some of the dreams are all over the shop, and some, like that one, I guess, were quite linear.
Mm.
most of my dreams do feel like movies, though.
That
In the way
one-
that I will
Life
end
is a
up crying
movie.
at the end of every single one.
Yeah.
I apologize on behalf of Tom
But
and
I have-
and Elle.
Ugh.
As someone who's
not
got an
Elle.
L in their name.
From the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Maybe
Wi-
not Elle.
That
Okay,
was
can I
the
ask a
individual
question? Can I,
who I stopped being friends
yeah,
with.
can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say a follow-up
Well-
question was: do you still have a relationship or friendship with the people that were the other women in this
In a dream.
stream?
L, no. J, yes.
And they
all
know
the
about
other
the stream?
ones. But the main characters, I'm only not friends with L anymore. But a lot of the other women who Tom was supposedly dating, they were all like random people from high school who I literally have not thought about since I left.
Well, so
I
here's the thing
deleted
that's
all of them off
interesting.
of Instagram as soon as I graduated.
But it's interesting that you say that because I found this so interesting when I found this out, is that your brain, as smart as it is and as complicated as it is, cannot think of new, well, you can't dream new faces. So every
No.
face that you see in your dream is a face that you've either seen before or interacted before, and your brain has just kind of like stored them away in the back of your mind, which is why I think a lot of the dreams that I have, I wake up, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why was my year 2 teacher like in this dream just casually? Like, hi, Mr. Latham. He was year 3, but you know what I mean? Like, shout out. You know, but that's the thing. It's like random people from all corners of your life, the shopkeeper down the road, will turn up in your dream. And often I have an existential crisis because of it, because it's like, does that mean there's any, like, was there meaning behind it? And often there isn't. That's why I think it's so interesting that you, like, I haven't thought about these people since high school. And I'm like, yeah, because your brain just, like, I don't know, can't think of new faces. It's not original.
Absolutely. No,
Not
I
like me.
completely agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
I've read that as well, and I've always wondered about it because I've had dreams where I've interacted with people I don't think I've ever met, or I don't like recall them in any special way, and then I think maybe it's just someone who I walked past in the street,
Yeah.
like literally a complete random person, and somehow they have stuck onto the face of someone in one of my dreams and have become somehow important for that dream experience.
Well, also fears correlate into your dreams, like your own phobias and fears that might not seem, you know, a massive ordeal, like say spiders or something, and it translate. But also emotional fears that aren't physical things, they translate immediately into your dreams, which could be something that it might not be kind of black and white, whatever that fear is, but in your dream with those people, something could be tied into that. Because like in contrast, I think dreams do mean something.
wow.
I'm kidding.
You're an angel.
I'm literally an angel sent from the heavens above.
Oh my god, the way that you can change your voice actually is a bit weird.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening to this podcast.
That was crazy.
Do it again. Can you put it low?
I don't know if I can go low.
You can't go low.
I can't go that low. I can only go like my regular voice.
Sexy talk us out.
I just looks wrong.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Or do.
Oh, ew.